back for workout number 2. We're actually going to start on the floor this time. So if you have a mat or if you want to do it just wherever you want, go ahead and lay on down the floor, and we're going to start with our crunch. So again, hands behind your head or across your chest. I prefer behind your head. Exhale, curling up to the tips of those shoulder blades. Inhale, rolling down. Don't pull with your hands or your arms. They're just there to support the weight of your head. Exhale up, inhale down. Give me 12 to 15, just like that. Hit pause, and then come on back, and we'll start exercise number 2. All right, for exercise number 2, we're going to be doing a similar exercise. We're just going to add some rotation into it. So we're going to start the same way. We're going to crunch up, but at the top, we're going to rotate up and over a little bit. Inhale down, we're going to alternate sides. Exhale up and over, to the opposite side. Oh, Maggie. Curling up and over, inhale down, exhale up and over to the opposite side. What I want you to focus on as you're doing this is as you curl up and over to one side, not letting your hips rock with you. Keep those hips anchored down so they stay even and you get all that oblique work. All right, you got 12 to 15 reps just like that, and then we'll move on to our next exercise. You're so right. All right, for our next exercise, we're going to go back to those single leg lifts. So legs are going straight up to the ceiling. Hands are going to be at our side. We're going to inhale, lower one leg, exhale, lift. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. Keeping that core strong, that spine neutral. You've got 12 to 15 on each side, so 24 to 30 total, and then we'll move on to our next exercise. Sorry, girl. Gotta get up. Okay, so for our next exercise, we're going to be doing some work with your cables and your bands again. So we're going to be doing an ab rotation. So holding on to one cable handle, and again, that's going to be attached down low at the bottom at the base. And I want you to hold that cable with handle with both hands, almost like you got like a golf swing going here. So you're going to start kind of in this low position. We're going to rotate up and out, opening that chest, coming back down. Exhale, lifting up and out, inhale down. So notice as I'm doing this, my hips aren't turning a ton. I want that rotation from my rib cage, not my hips. So again, we're not rotating our whole body. I want these hips to stay fairly square to you. We're using our arms, and we're really using these obliques right here. Exhale, up and out, rotate. Inhale, coming down. You've got 12 to 15 on each side. Go ahead and get started. All right, your next exercise. Seems simple, it's just arm circles. So arms are going to be straight out to the side, tall posture. If you have really light weights like 2s or 3s, you can hold those and do it. But honestly, it's enough work just doing it without. So again, tall posture, and I want you to really engage those arms. Engage the muscles. So we're not just kind of like all willy-nilly circling those arms. I want you to have control over it. Give me 12 to 15 circles forwards and 12 to 15 circles backwards. Again, focus on tall posture. Those arms staying lifted shoulder height. Our chest staying open and keeping our neck. All right, 12 to 15 front, 12 to 15 backwards, and then we'll move on. All right, we're going to get your heart rate up a little bit on this next one. So I want you to step wider than your hips for me. So nice wide stance. I want you to squat down and touch the floor, stand up tall and reach. Touch the floor, reach. So I want you to move pretty quickly through this. So again, wide stance, we're going to reach down for the floor, not because we're hinging down, but because we're squatting down, and then quick, powerful reach to the ceiling. Give me 15 just like that. Touch, reach. Good. 15, hit pause, and then come back. All right, Jeannie. We're going to come back down onto the floor here for another exercise. Grab one of your weights, though, not the 25. I think you would hate me if I had to do it with 25. We're just going to lay down flat, weight straight up to the ceiling. Arms are going to be nice and straight. We're going to inhale and lower that weight overhead, and exhale, lifting right back up. Inhale, take it back, and exhale, lift straight up to the ceiling. If that's too much tension in your shoulders, soften your elbows just a little bit and do it with a slightly bent arm. But again, we want to keep those arms nice and long, going back and pulling up. Focus on keeping that core really strong. As you take that weight overhead, a lot of times our back's going to want to arch up. We don't want it to. Keep that spine neutral and keep that weight straight up to the ceiling. All right, 12 to 15 pullovers, and then we'll move on. All right, we're going to stay down here, except this time you're going to need 2 weights. Come over here, Maggie. Yep, good. Sit, sit, sit. Good girl. Stay. Both weights, we're going to go into our chest press here. So weights are going to come up to the ceiling, and we're going to turn those palms so they're facing each other. We're going to bring those elbows right down to our rib cage, and exhale, press up. Inhale down, exhale, press. Just in that nice chest press, slow and controlled. You have 12 to 15, just like that. Go ahead and hit pause and do those 12 to 15 reps. All right, your next exercise is going to be a chest fly. So we're staying here on the floor. Our palms are still going to be facing each other, but we're going to soften those elbows a little bit, almost like we're hugging a tree. We're going to open out to the side, and then exhale up and together. Inhale, open out. Exhale, lift up and together. Keep that going. You've got 12 to 15. Again, when you get to the top, just think about like you're hugging a tree. So our arms aren't straight. They're slightly soft. We're keeping our spine neutral and our core engaged. 12 to 15 chest flies. Hit pause and then come back. All right. Moving on. We're going to go into a rear chest fly, or I should say a back fly really, because that's more of what it is. So with both weights, standing up nice and tall, we're going to hinge forward from our hips and bend our knees. So again, we want to kind of bend knees, hinge forward, almost like we're going to ski. Instead though, our arms are going to hang down slightly in front of us, and we're going to soften our elbows. Exhale, flying up. Inhale, come down. You can do this one arm at a time or both together. So again, you can go single arms or doubles. Focus on keeping that back strong though. Notice I'm not standing up or arching my back as I fly. That back staying nice and neutral. Exhale up, inhale down. 12 to 15, just like that. All right, Jeannie. Next step is going to be a plank. You can do this in a couple different ways. You can do it on a countertop, on the couch, on a chair, on the floor, your choice. I would recommend doing it on a couch, a bench, or a chair. So what this plank is going to look like is you're going to put your forearms down and walk your legs out straight behind you so you're in a nice long line. And I just want you to count to 30 nice and slow while you do this. So again, our hips aren't piped up. Our back's not really dipping down. Everything's nice and strong. So you're going to hold that plank, and again, really center kind of your chest over your arms forming. That way, you're not putting too much tension into your shoulders. Again, hold that plank, count to 30 nice and slow, and then we'll move on. All right, for your next exercise, we're going to do some walking lunge work here. So holding 2 weights at your side or the single 25, either one, as long as you've got some weight. Just find a spot where you can kind of take a couple big steps, like maybe 5 or 6 in a row. Holding that weight, you're just going to take a big step forward, lean into that leg, stand up tall. So let me change this camera angle a bit so you can see me a bit more with my legs. So again, holding your weight, you're going to step forward, leaning into that front leg, stand up tall. Take a big step, lean forward, and stand up tall. So you're going to alternate legs for me as you walk down the hall or the room, whatever it is. Give me 12 to 15 on each leg, so 24 to 30 total, just walking up and down, holding that weight at your chest. All right, let's get going. All right, next up, we're going to, again, still do some side step work. So keeping that weight, we're going to do some side lunges, some side squats. So holding the weight at your chest, I want you to give me a little squat, so you're going to hold a little squat. You're going to step wide together, step wide together, and then go backwards. Wide, together, wide, together. Good. So you're just kind of holding that squat while you're holding the weight and just sidestepping long. So you can do all 12 to 15 in one direction, then come back, or you can do like 3 or 4 one way, 3 and 4 back, 3 and 4 one way, 3 and 4 back, until you get at least 12 to 15 on each leg. All right, let's work those glutes. All right, let's get you back to a little bit more cardio here. Get that heart rate back up a bit. We're gonna throw some punches. So you can either do this with no weights or really light weights. I'm gonna have you step wide, so you're kind of sitting back in your hips, your legs are engaged. Bring your hands up. Again, almost like we're gonna throw some punches here. And I want you to quick punch side to side, side to side. Again, notice my hips aren't moving a whole lot. It's my core, it's my torso, it's my core. It's this rib cage right here. So again, quick punches, 12 to 15 each side. Let's get that heart rate up. All right, Jeannie. One more good exercise, and then we'll move on. Grab that 25-pound weight again, and we're going to do a set of deadlifts. So what I want you to do here is standing up tall. We're going to move from our hips, not our knees. We're not squatting. We're moving from our hips. Keep soft knees, though. We don't want to lock out, and we don't want to squat. Somewhere in the middle, just nice and loose. We're going to reach down for our toes. As we reach down, we want to focus on keeping that back really flat. So what I mean by that is not just totally letting everything roll down. Keep that back flat, reach for those toes. As we stand up, really squeeze your glutes and stand up tall. So inhale, hinge from your hips down, and exhale, stand up tall. You've got 12 to 15 deadlifts. All right, Jamie. We're gonna do a stretch here real quick to finish this set. So once you take a big inhale, stretch as tall as you can. And then exhale, tuck your chin to your chest and roll down to the floor. Reach for those toes. And I just want you to hold here. Just kind of hang in this position for me. And count to 3 or 4 good deep breaths. And then slowly roll it up, one vertebrae at a time. Your shoulders, your neck, and your head comes up last into tall posture. This chest is open, our shoulders are down. So big inhale up, and then exhale, roll down to the floor. Holds for a couple breaths, and then slowly roll up into tall posture. Give me 5 of those. Perfect. Once you are done with those 5, start the video all over from the top, run through it one more time, and that'll be your workout. Awesome. All right. Again, if you have questions about modifications or anything, give me a call.